The Ravens had every reason to celebrate after their big win over Browns, until one piece of news changed the mood completely. Kyle Van Noy, the linebacker who made the Pro Bowl just last year, could be sidelined for multiple weeks. That's not the kind of headline Baltimore wanted this early in the season, and now it opens the door to some serious questions about what comes next. Can this defense hold up without one of its most experienced leaders? Who's going to step into his spot? And is rookie Mike Green really ready to be thrown into the fire right away? The truth is, Van Noy's absence could shift the rhythm of this entire defense, and the way the Ravens respond might determine a lot more than just the next few games. What looked like a perfect Sunday for Baltimore ended with a gut punch. In the middle of the game against the Browns, Kyle Van Noy grabbed at his leg, headed straight for the locker room, and later it was confirmed, a hamstring injury. It's not season-ending, but the Ravens already know they'll be without him for a few weeks. For a team that came out hot, losing a veteran of his caliber is no small blow. The impact feels heavier because Van Noy isn't just another name on the roster. Last year, he had the best season of his career, leading the Ravens in sacks and earning his first-ever Pro Bowl nod. At 34, he showed he still had plenty left in the tank to be one of the anchors of this defense. So when a player of that caliber has to sit, even temporarily, it feels like the heartbeat of the defense slows down. And in a way, this injury serves as a wake-up call. Last season, the Ravens had incredible luck with injuries, cruising through the year without many setbacks. Deep down, everyone knew it was unlikely they'd get that same fortune twice. Now, early in the season, the tide has shifted. It's not catastrophic, but it's a sharp reminder what football is, a war of attrition where injuries eventually find you. The one bit of relief, John Harbaugh has already made it clear Van Noy will be back. His season isn't in jeopardy. But until then, this defense will have to prove it can stand tall without one of its most reliable leaders. Which leads to the big question, who's ready to take his place? And right now, all signs point to one rookie stepping into the spotlight, Mike Green. Losing Van Noy cuts right into a sensitive area, the pass rush. Last season, he wasn't just productive. He was the guy who set the tone, the one who made quarterbacks uncomfortable, who forced offensive lines to account for him on every snap. Take that piece out of the puzzle, and Baltimore loses more than just numbers. They lose presence. And the truth is, this was already a shaky area. The Ravens' pass rush has had its moments, but consistency has been an issue. Without Van Noy, that inconsistency could be magnified. The defense is going to need some creativity to fill the gap, dialing up more blitz packages, or leaning on players who are still trying to find their footing. It's the kind of challenge that forces a defense to reinvent itself. This is also a test of depth. Teams with championship aspirations know injuries are part of the grind, and success depends on how well you handle them. Now it's on Baltimore's defense to prove they can keep up the standard without their most experienced edge presence. It won't be easy, but this is when new leaders can step up. The loss is undeniable, but it also creates opportunity. For the guys waiting in the rotation, the door just opened wider. The pressure ramps up. The responsibility grows heavier. But if the Ravens can find answers from within, they may come out of this stretch stronger than they started. And the rookie Mike Green sits right at the center of that conversation. Mike Green probably never pictured it happening this fast. A second-round pick this year, he arrived in Baltimore as a raw talent. Loads of potential, but a player expected to need time before making a big impact. That timeline might have just been accelerated. With Van Noy sidelined, Green isn't just a project anymore. He's part of the plan right now. What's interesting is that he was already making noise before the season even started. His speed and power flashed in camp and preseason, catching the eyes of coaches who quickly realized they might have landed a gem. He wasn't the biggest name in his draft class, but his upside jumped off the tape. Now, with meaningful snaps ahead, Green has the perfect chance to fast-track his development. Of course, he's still got work to do. He hasn't established himself as a sack machine yet, but he's shown flashes, getting pressures, and even coming close to his first career sack against Cleveland. Those little moments show he's trending in the right direction. The question is whether he can keep up that energy now that opponents will start game planning for him. One thing is certain, the opportunity is wide open. The Ravens drafted Green to eventually succeed Van Noy down the road, but that handoff might come sooner than anyone thought. If he proves he can handle the spotlight, Green could cement himself as a core piece right away. And betting on young talent is something Harbaugh hasn't been shy about before.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about the world of football and want to learn more about the Ravens' legacy, don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who is also a Baltimore Ravens fan and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one was handpicked just for you, and the other is a recommendation from YouTube itself.
The challenge doesn't stop with Van Noy. Other key names are dealing with injuries of their own. Cornerback Marlon Humphrey, a cornerstone of the secondary, and running back Rasheen Ali, who brings plenty of promise, are both sidelined. The good news is, like Van Noy, they're expected back relatively soon. Harbaugh has already downplayed the severity of their situations. But when injuries pile up across multiple positions, the ripple effect is real. The defense loses depth, the offense loses weapons, and the whole roster has to adjust. That means not only rely on talent, but also on the coaching staff's ability to scheme around temporary weaknesses. It's also a test of resilience. After enjoying a year of nearly unprecedented health, Baltimore now faces the opposite. The real challenge is making sure this rough patch doesn't shake their confidence or derail their rhythm. It's a long season, and handling stretches like this is part of the grind. On the flip side, this kind of adversity can strengthen a team. Young players get bigger roles, veterans step up, and the locker room pulls tighter together. The big question is whether Baltimore can keep its edge until the roster gets healthy again. And with Van Noy out, the first answers will have to come from the pass rush. With Van Noy sidelined, the spotlight shifts to the young guns. Mike Green, Tavius Robinson, and Odafe Oweh now have the chance to prove if they're ready to carry the load when the team needs it most. None of them have Van Noy's experience, but what they do have is raw talent and the opportunity to make their mark. Sometimes, that's all it takes to spark a breakout. The pass rush will need to be built by committee. Green has shown flashes. Robinson is steadily improving, and Oweh has the athletic tools to wreck plays if he can find consistency. If these three can complement each other, Baltimore could carve out a new defensive identity until Van Noy is back. It won't look the same, but it could be enough to keep quarterbacks on edge. Harbaugh has never shied away from throwing rookies into the fire. Malaki Starks is already earning his snaps in the secondary and making an impact. Now, the expectation is that Green and the rest of the young pass rushers rise to the occasion in similar fashion. It's a rare opportunity for growth, even in the middle of adversity. Make no mistake, Van Noy's absence will be felt, but it doesn't have to define this defense. Baltimore has the pieces to adapt, even if it takes some adjustments. The question is whether the youth movement can turn talent into production when it matters. If they do, the Ravens might just discover strengths they didn't even know they had. Losing Kyle Van Noy is the kind of setback the Ravens didn't want this early in the year, but it also cracks open the door for something bigger. The chance for young talent to rise under pressure. Mike Green, Tavius Robinson, and Odafe Oweh now carry the responsibility of keeping the pass rush alive while the team waits for its veterans to return. This stretch is going to test the roster's depth and Harbaugh's ability to adjust on the fly. So here's the real question. Can the Ravens maintain their intensity without Van Noy, or will his absence leave scars they can't cover up? One thing's for sure. Every snap from here on out carries more weight, and how this defense responds could define not just their unit, but the entire course of Baltimore's season.
All right, we're already past the halfway point of this video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube keep showing you my content so I can keep bringing you the best news about the Baltimore Ravens. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free and it really helps. Thanks. Now let's get back to it.